Who attacked Kissy Missy? After defeating Catnap through the prototype and moving the red smoke over to the left tube in the gas production zone, we meet up with Poppy and she begins to praise us for everything that we've done. She then says that we deserve to know the truth of what happened to Playtime Co. and presents a tape to us that they like to call the Hour of Joy. And after watching this, Kissy Missy comes through the large door on the left and helps bring us down to the bottom of the room via an elevator. And Poppy lets Kissy Missy know that we'll send the lift back up to her once we reach the bottom. But as we're going down, all we can hear is Kissy Missy screaming and stomping around, with Poppy trying her absolute best to get back to her.
All right, once we hit the ground, we need to be cautious. There's something... What's she doing? No! We're coming! Just hold on! Come on, go faster! Kissy!
And with that, the chapter ends. But who could have attacked Kissy Missy? Why did they do it? And how will this change things moving forward? Well, I have 3 theories for what could have happened to her. But let's start with the least likely. When Kissy Missy is first being attacked, listen to the very first noise she makes. Sound familiar? Well, this is actually the exact same noise Huggy Wuggy makes when he jump scares us. But why would Kissy Missy make this noise in the first place? Well, lots of people are led to believe that it was actually Huggy Wuggy himself that made the first noise. But if we were to assume that both of them were in the room, then it would make the rest of the attack make 0 sense. On top of the screaming, you can hear Kissy Missy stomping around, but you can't hear any other footsteps. If Huggy Wuggy was the one to attack her, the footsteps would have been either doubled or a lot more rapid. Plus, how would Huggy Wuggy even have gotten there in the first place? And why would he immediately attack Kissy Missy? I can somewhat understand the second part, as the reason he attacked us in the first chapter is likely just because he was starving. This is because before the Hour of Joy happened, Huggy Wuggy was said to be very obedient with the staff and normally didn't lash out. But things started to slowly take a turn for the worse once Huggy Wuggy started to be influenced by the prototype. And so he ended up only being hostile when provoked to being a relentless killer. But what about him actually being alive in the first place? During the end of chapter 1, we can clearly see Huggy Wuggy falling deep into the depths of Playtime Co. And the only chance he could have had at surviving is if he landed in a large body of water. Now, we're seen to be navigating through bodies of water throughout chapter 3, but it's highly unlikely that this was enough to break Huggy Wuggy's fall. Plus, I don't think the water that we see in chapter 3 is right below Poppy's walkway. But who else could have attacked Kissy Missy? Now, everyone's instinctive answer for the attack is the prototype, but we actually have nothing proving this. It's been shown that the prototype will only become involved with a toy who is either already dead or is on the verge of death. And if he were to not stick by this, it would completely change why the prototype is keeping himself hidden as much as possible in the first place. But it is possible that the prototype had some type of involvement with the attack. And for this, we have to go all the way back to the playhouse. After we find Dog Day in one of the jail cells, he starts to tell us how he got in this position, and during his dialogue, he says this.
We tried to fight it. The prototype's control.
Now, this can be taken one of 2 ways. The first is the prototype actually being able to manipulate your mind and turn you evil, and the second is the prototype just having a bunch of control over all the other toys, meaning it would be very difficult to defy him. If we were to go with the first way, it's possible that the prototype started to try and control Kissy Missy and turn her evil, which is why we don't hear anyone else stomping around or screaming. All of this could be mental for Kissy Missy, and in the next chapter, we might have to turn her back to her good ways. The way he got Huggy Wuggy to go from obedient to ruthless will probably be used on Kissy Missy as well. But right now, we really have nothing to go off of. We can't see what's going on with Kissy Missy, and the only thing we can really use as info is what we heard. There was never a point in the game where Kissy Missy was said to have any type of enemy, and the only character that's in relation to Kissy Missy is Huggy Wuggy. And again, he was supposedly killed way back in chapter 1. So if no one had having any past reasons to attack Kissy Missy, this had to have been orchestrated by someone else. This brings me back to the prototype, but instead of him being the person to do it directly, it's possible that he sent another character to do the job, and maybe it's a character we haven't even seen yet. Lots of people have been speculating on not just what will happen for the next chapter, but who's gonna be the main antagonist for it. I don't think chapter 4 will be the last chapter, so that would also mean that the prototype can't be the last character we have to take down. So with that being said, could it be possible that the person who attacked Kissy Missy will also be the main antagonist of chapter 4? It's a bit of a stretch, but again, we don't really have much to back anything up. Plus, after being attacked by Kissy Missy after leaving Home Sweet Home, Poppy lets us know on the elevator that Catnap was the last obstacle he put between us.
Catnap is coming. He's the final obstacle the prototype has placed against us. We can't stay here. Keep yourself safe.
So wouldn't that mean that he couldn't send anyone else down to us? It also makes me wonder how Poppy even has this information, but more about that in another theory. One thing that I will mention though is how Kissy Missy ended up being attacked in the first place. If you look at where the lever is that sends the lift down and where Kissy Missy is when she pulls it, you can see that the entrance to the room is right behind her, which means that whoever attacked her must have snuck into the room and then pounced onto her. This is also why I wouldn't think of Huggy Wuggy being the main culprit, as he doesn't strike me as the quiet type. Now, Catnap is said to be a stealthy character, but he literally just got killed, so that also takes him off the list. Now, you could say Boxy Boo is considered stealthy, but there are so many things wrong with him possibly attacking Kissy Missy. But there is one group of characters who could possibly fit the bill on this, and it could be the mini smiling critters. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how you can hear Kissy Missy stomping around as she's screaming, and I linked this with someone trying to control her. But what if this was due to the fact that there were a bunch of toys latched onto her, causing her to become disoriented? Just based off the noises Kissy Missy makes when she's attacked, we can infer that she's not really trying to fight back. It honestly sounds like screams for help. But the thing about pinning the attack on any character is that you can't hear anyone other than Kissy Missy in the room. So we kind of just have to go off of who has evil intentions. And now we have to speculate how this changes the story and what's to come for the next chapter. Firstly, we have to figure out why Poppy was bringing us deeper into Playtime Co. in the first place. She said multiple times that we need to kill the prototype. So her bringing us down to wherever this new place is probably so we can do exactly that. But now that Kissy Missy has been attacked, I think a large portion of the next chapter will be centered around saving her and figuring out who was the one who attacked her. And perhaps after that, then we'll go back to the original plan of taking down the prototype. But even then, it might be too late. But who do you think attacked Kissy Missy? And will we be able to see them in the upcoming chapter? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video right here.